Get your 6-cup moka pot ready, because in this video I'm going to show you 2 ways to get the best from your coffee with this family size Bialetti Moka Express. Hi everyone, Matteo here. I am very happy to see you again. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you will have a good time. The design of this moka pot is the same as the other sizes of the Moka Express from Bialetti family. If we take in consideration the difference between the 3 cups and the 6 cups, you will think that the 6 cups because it's the double of 3, has the double amount of dose of coffee in the basket, and also has the capacity to have the double amount of water in the boiler, right? But actually, they're not the same. For example, in a 3 cups mocha, the boiler can contain 140 grams of water when you fill it just below the valve, and 18 grams of this coffee in the basket. And this makes a ratio of 1 to 7.8 coffee to water. So for every grams of coffee, we have a 7.8 grams of water. In the 6 cups, the boiler can fit 270 grams and the basket 29 grams of the same coffee. And that makes a ratio coffee to water of 1 to 9.3. So basically, for 1 gram of coffee, we have 9.3 grams of water. Basically, in the 6 cups moka pot, you can fit less coffee in the basket compared to the amount of water that you can fit in the boiler. Of course, this ratio is compared against the 3 cups Moka Express. So, when you brew the coffee with a 6 cup moka pot, you need a different approach than when you brew the coffee with a 3 cups. And using the same grind size and the same temperature of water, and just filling the coffee and the water in the mocha at full capacity as we saw before, we will have a stronger coffee but less extracted with 3 cups moka pot, and we will have a weaker coffee but more extracted with a 6 cups moka pot. This because the different ratio that the pots have. With 6 cups moka pot, we will have more water passing through the coffees that will extract more solids, so increase extraction, but because the higher amount of water, it will make the coffee more watery. I will never stop to say that ratio in coffee brewing is a very important aspect. Maybe one of the most important if we want to achieve consistency. So that's why I always advise to use a scale. If you don't want to use a scale, you can use other measurements tool like cups or spoons. Then if you don't want to use any sort of tools, you get the coffee how it comes. That's on you. So, what can we do to achieve a nice, good, balanced cup of coffee with a 6 cups moka pot? We can do different things depending on how you like your coffee. If you like your coffee strong, we can reduce the amount of water in the boiler, but keeping the same amount of coffee in the basket. In this way, less water will pass through the coffee bed and you will achieve a stronger cup, but also balanced. If you like your coffee less intense, but of course well balanced, what you can do is to change the grind size of the coffee that you put in the basket. Grinding coarser. In this way, the water will flow faster through the coffee bed because it will find less resistance from the ground coffee, and you will achieve a less intense cup of coffee, but also well balanced and full of flavors. This really depends on how you like your coffee. I will do 2 recipes and then I will explain you the outcomes, and also I will take some measurements of strength and calculation of extraction, but it's just for you to have it as a reference. The first one I will do is a long coffee, so similar to an American style kind of coffee, less intense but well balanced and full of flavors. The second one I will do, it will be shorter, so I will use less water and we will achieve a stronger and also more intense coffee, but still well balanced. The grind size, of course, is going to be different between 2. This one, the coarser one, is the one I will use for the first recipe, as you can see, and the final one is for the second. You can see the difference of the 2 grind size. Sometimes you don't really notice it, but if you take a very well look, you can see the particles. This one has a bigger particles and this one has a more finer particles. To give you a reference, I ground the coffee with a command and grinder, the coarse one at 22 clicks, and this will give you an average of microns of 640-650. For the final one, I grounded at 15 clicks, still with a command and grinder, and this will give you an average of 540-550 microns. Then you can always adjust the grind size based on your taste. Okay, now let's brew the first coffee. I placed 29 grams of coffee in the basket. using the coarser one. You need to know that the weight of the coffee in the basket can vary depending on varietals of coffee and also on the roasting level. If you use a light roast coffee in the basket, you can fit more grams, and if you use a dark roast coffee, you will fit less grams. And that's because the difference in density between the two coffees. I also distribute the coffee with a WDT tool, but if you don't have it, don't worry, you can just tap with your finger gently. One thing I want to add is that when we grind coarser, the coffee also clump less. So in this case, the WDT tool is less needed, but I use it for consistency. Now we add water in the boiler, 270 grams or just below the valve. You can place an AeroPress filter for extra clarity and flavor, and this will also push the extraction a bit more. I really suggest this if you brew light roast coffee, because this will make a difference in clarity of flavors, but also in extraction. Okay, now I close the mocha and I place it on the stove. With my stove at low heat, I usually get the coffee out around 5 minutes 50 seconds more, seconds less, and at a temperature that usually is around 66-68 degrees Celsius. The trick to control the extraction with a 6 Moka Pot is very important. If we leave the Moka Pot on the stove for the whole time and the stove power is too hot, or we grind too fine, what could happen is that the water in the boiler can reach an extreme boiling point, and you can get sputtering right in the middle of the brewing. I got so many messages about this problem, where people cannot get a good amount of water out from the chimney and the Moka Pot is sputtering and is making a mess everywhere. And to fix this problem, what you need to do is to move the Moka Pot on the side for a few seconds and then bring it back on the stove, and then again on the side, and then again on the stove. So by moving the Moka Pot on the side, we make sure that the water doesn't get too hot and doesn't pass through fast through the coffee bed, but also without stopping the flow. This makes the extraction more gentle and more even. Then when you see this happening, all these bubbles coming out, it's when we finish brewing our coffee. Now you can stir the coffee in the upper chamber or pour it in another vessel and then serve the coffee. Okay, now I will do the second one, then I will compare the two coffees and I will tell you more about what we achieved. For this coffee, I ground the beans finer, as we can see again here, the difference between the two ground coffee. This is usually the grind size I use when I brew the coffee with a 3 cups Moka Pot. It's a pretty standard Moka Pot grind size. I place the same amount of coffee I use for the first recipe. The only difference between the two, in this case, is the grind size. I distribute the coffee in the same way, using a WDT tool. Here is more important because usually finer ground has more clumps, so it will help you better to distribute the coffee in the basket. I place 220 grams of water, so 50 grams less than the previous coffee. Here the scales, of course, it helps to be precise. As I said before, this will increase the strength of the coffee, and then we will see later this different ratio what it will give to our extraction. You can place an AeroPress filter like the previous method for more clarity and more extraction, and then we place the Moka Pot on the stove. Same low heat, and now we wait for the coffee to come out. Here what you notice is that the coffee is coming out earlier compared to the first method. In this case 4 minutes 30-35. So less water in the boiler will speed up the execution. But you can also notice that the temperature of the coffee coming out is lower, 58 degrees Celsius compared to the 66 degrees from the previous method. This will reduce the power extraction of the water. Then we control the extraction in the same way we did it for the other one, and of course at the end we will have less liquid. Remember always to stir the coffee or pour it in another vessel before serving, and don't forget to enjoy it. Now it's science time. I'm going to measure the concentration of the two coffees using a refractometer. These tools give us the percentage of the coffee particle dissolved in the liquid. You will see that the two coffees are different in concentration. The first coffee has a lower percentage, 3.40, than the second coffee, 4.23. This because the coarser grind size and also because we use a higher amount of water to brew the coffee. But let's see the difference in extraction. I do a simple calculation. The coffee yield 199 multiply the TDS, total dissolved solids, so 340, divided by the grams of the coffee we place in the basket, 29. And this is the extraction, 23.3%. And this was the first coffee. Now I do the second, same calculation, 160, the yield, multiplied for 23, the TDS, divided the grams of coffee in the basket, 29. And that's the result, 23.3. Basically the same extraction than the other one. Of course, if you get the right extraction, both coffees they're gonna taste sweet and balanced, a very nice flavor. But the first one it will be less intense and more delicate, and the second one it will be stronger and more intense. Now it's up to you to decide how you prefer to drink your coffee. Now, I'm not asking you to check the temperature every time you brew your coffee if you don't want to or you don't have time. Also, I'm not asking you to buy a refractometer and do all these calculations. I just wanted to show you two different ways to make a good cup of coffee using a 6 cups Moka pot. And that coffee to water ratio together with how you grind your coffee, it matters. The extraction control method by removing the pot for a few seconds and then place it back on it is a trick that will help you a lot, even if you don't follow the other variables I was using. But you will notice the difference. Then I hope I could help you more to understand the importance of the other variables. I hope this video will help you to get the coffee you like using a 6 cups Moka pot. Now it's up to you to get the best out of it. If you want to share your thoughts and or your method, I would really appreciate it. You can just do it by dropping a comment in the section below. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video, and in the meantime I wish you a wonderful day and delicious coffee. Ciao! Good. Also good. I like both, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how good this coffee is, man. It's good.